Welcome everyone. I am going live in my group Intuitive Angel Messages on Facebook, and today we're going to be channeling the blue avians. So for those of you that don't know about the blue avians, you're going to want to Google it. Also, the person that I know who channels the blue avians the most is Paul Milgis. So if you haven't seen his YouTube channel, he covers a lot of different topics, different ETs, different starseed topics. So you'll just go check that out on YouTube under Paul Milgis. Another thing you guys might not know is that I have a second YouTube channel. So other than my original YouTube channel, Kristin Davies, I also have a second YouTube channel called Lightworkers United. And I enjoy bringing on different mediums and healers, oracle card readers, all sorts, okay, over on that channel. I myself also post shorter videos on different topics. So recently I just posted a video on the angels and what crystals the angels recommend for you to use, and how would you use crystals to ground yourself, and how do you know how much energy is left in your crystal. So how do you know when you need to recharge it? So that's one video I just popped up there. But also Paul Milgis also has a lot more of the blue avian content up over on Lightworkers United. So if that's something that interests you, I put the links just above this video in my group here on Facebook, Intuitive Angel Messages. And I'll also put the links in the description below when you're watching this on YouTube. So that is my passion project. Some of the people that are over on Lightworkers United, myself, Paul Milgis, Paul Wyrostic. Many of you guys know Paul Wyrostic. Rita Miller. You can find her under Rita Miller Medium. Yvonne. And also we have people from all over the world, from Germany and the US and Canada. And so, you know, go over there, check it out. There's tons of material to go through. All you have to do is click on videos and it'll, you know, give you all the list of different content, okay? So one thing I want to talk about, I saw this meme on Facebook. And the meme is, you can either be consumed or forged. The fire doesn't care. And that was just like, do. And I thought, okay, this is really resonating with me. And then like this morning, I asked my guardian angel, Agnes, I said, why is this resonating with me so much? Okay. And she said, because you've lived both extremes of this quote on either side. And I was like, ooh, I'm so gonna be talking about this today on the live before I channel the blue avians. So here it is again, ready? You can either be consumed or forged. The fire doesn't care. The fire doesn't care. You can either be consumed or forged. And I've lived on both ends of the spectrum, meaning I have been consumed and I have wallowed and suffered, and I have been absolutely in the trenches in life, predominantly with the health issues that I've had in the past. And the other part of it is, because of the being consumed by what I've been through, I've actually been forged. So there is a strengthening that's occurred within me. It is something that you go through the ringer and you can stay there. You can stay in that pity party. You can cry your eyes out. It's all within your choosing. And that's our own free will of choice. But remember that when you're in the trenches, when you are being consumed, you get to choose how long you stay there for. And you get to choose whether you're going to be forged in the fire or you're going to stay being consumed. You know it's tough. You know it's hard. But what are you going to do about it? Past the mourning, past the grieving, past the suffering, past the pity party, past the wallowing, okay? So now I operate more from a perspective of being forged. So that has brought a lot of strength, a lot of toughness. I think some people are actually quite surprised at how solid I am. They, you know, people like to test the waters. They like to see how far they can get. And if they think you're nice and they think you're, you know, a soft touch, they'll see how far they can take things with you. So I think they're surprised to see how far they can take things with me. And the fire doesn't care either way. And I kind of see the fire as the energy. So we are the manifestors of our reality. And so wherever your attention goes, energy flows. Whatever you place your attention and focus upon, that's where it's going to go. And you get to decide, you know, where you're going to be in the energy. Because you're the one creating more of the same based on your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. I prefer being forged. And I prefer that if I'm going to get consumed, I let it go on for a time, but not forever, not for years, and at times, preferably not even for months. So I love this quote. You can either be consumed or forged. The fire doesn't care. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that this morning because I felt like it was very highlighted and very prominent and really important. Okay, so there's a list of questions that I have for the blue avians. I don't know which ones are coming through. I don't know what dimension they're coming in from. Those of you who have heard me talk before, if you have ET origins, okay, or ET beings, light beings, coming in and communicating with you, and they're coming from say more like the fourth or fifth dimension, way easier to be in their energy for lengthy periods of time because my frequencies here, it's closer for me and I can sustain and I don't get as tired. I don't get as lightheaded. But when you're bringing in, or they decide to come in, Pleiadians, blue avians, Arcturians, and they want to converse with you, and they're like up at, you know, 12th dimension, 14th dimension, okay? It's a real different story. They'll even ask me, would you like us to step back a bit? And I say, yes, please. Because I get really loopy, lightheaded, and I can get heart palps and maybe some nausea because the high vibrational frequency is permeating my body and my body's not used to it. So when that energy comes around me, I know I've got maybe about, usually I'll hang on for about 10 minutes if it's a quick message. So we'll see what comes through today. Usually the blue avians energy can make me feel quite lightheaded. And for those of you that have incarnated here on Earth and you have been a blue avian in the past, some of the characteristics that you may have are, well, at least what I've noticed with others, and let me tell you, I haven't met a lot of blue avians, okay? And the ones that I have met have had incarnations as a blue avian, but also as a Pleiadian, and over here as an Arcturian. To find someone that has predominantly incarnated as a blue avian is a little bit more on the rare side. So you may have, you know, somebody that's incarnated as a blue avian, but maybe I've also seen them in red, and there are also limitless other bird beings that I don't have a label for. So when you meet someone like this, aka Paul Milgis, it's rare to see. You just don't see it that often. At least I don't. So some of the characteristics, if you've had blue avian lifetimes, whether that's your, dominant, more lifetimes in that vessel, that type of vessel, versus that's pretty much the only one you've had, and now you're here on Earth. Some of the characteristics you might find is like really sharp intellectually. I've really found that a lot. The other thing I've seen is really having a hard time grounding your energy. It's hard to ground. Oh man. Because why? Why would it be difficult for somebody that's incarnated as a blue avian to ground their energy? Does anybody have any insight on that? I'll let you guys type that into the comments. Why would it be difficult if you've incarnated, say, hundreds of times, okay, as a blue avian, and now you're on Earth, and why would it be difficult for you to ground yourself? Just like we would look at a Pleiadian incarnations, and then coming to Earth, and maybe grounding yourself isn't as difficult. Kind of like, hey, I've done this before, I've been here before, and this is similar to where I've been. I don't really feel the need to ground myself as much. So depending on where your soul has been and the incarnations it's had, is going to directly impact this lifetime in this human vessel. That's what I'm trying to say. And why would it be difficult for a blue avian to ground themselves? Does anybody have any insights on that? Anybody at all? Lisa, I know your brain's churning right now. Go ahead. All right, so what do blue avians do? Do they walk on the ground? Are they on the ground often? I don't think so. Blue avians are up in the air, and they're flying, and they're up. And also, the other thing I've noticed is they're very present in the moment. Like keeping track of time, what month it is, what day it is, what's the date. And just being very laser focused in the moment. That might be another characteristic you might notice about yourself. You're difficult to ground yourself. You're very laser focused in the moment. Time is irrelevant to you. These are all characteristics that you might find that maybe you have incarnated as a blue avian. But bird beings, blue avians included, they are nowhere in sight of really being on the ground. I don't think that often. They're in flight. They're constantly moving. So another characteristic that I've seen with individuals that have had blue avian lifetimes is we might label them as ADHD or ADD. They're very difficult to sit still. Important to exercise and important to move, important to ground yourself. So blue avians, do not ground themselves in those lifetimes. So coming into this vessel, it might be very difficult to ground yourself. Yeah, big time. So whatever and whichever way you can, go ground yourself. Often. It might be hours a day. It might be. It really could be. So the first question that I have for the blue avians is, are there blue avians on Earth, whether it be non-physical or physical? And I'm getting yes. Okay. They are here. Are they predominantly in the physical or the non-physical? Non-physical only. Okay. So again, I'll ask again, are there any physical in the seeming physical blue avians on Earth? And I get no. I'm getting no. So there's only non-physical blue avians here. That means in energy form, okay? It's like your angels, your spirit guides. If they wanted to present in physical form, they could, but they're here in the non-physical predominantly, assisting us while we're living this temporary seeming physical experience. Okay, so that's interesting. Didn't know that. I did not know that they are not here in the physical. They're only here in the non-physical. Okay, what are the blue avians doing here? That's the question, isn't it? What are the non-physical blue avians doing here? Observing humanity, observing our progress, monitoring, watching, assisting when being requested upon. And then also there are blue avian starseed family members that are here assisting individuals. So if you've had incarnations as a blue avian and you have connections with other blue avians that you've had incarnations with, then they're going to come here in the non-physical and they're going to assist you in this lifetime. So then these would be deemed as being your starseed family members or friends, all wrapped up into that title of starseed family member. So you may notice that you have starseed, blue avian starseed family members with you, helping you throughout this lifetime. Okay? And any other things that you're doing here? Helping to lift and raise the vibrational frequency here within us, those who are asking for assistance from them, those of you in which they are working with as a starseed family member, they are helping to raise your vibrational frequency. Okay, so if you want to help to raise your vibrational frequency, you can call upon them and they will come and help you do that. Okay, anything else you want to add? No? Okay. I have a blue avian, very calm, quite large, blue, giving, very calm, very observing, very watching and communicating with me. And I say, would you like to say anything else? And this blue avian just does this, but watching. Okay. This blue avian that's coming in and conversing, I'm just going to let this blue avian speak on behalf of itself, where it's from, what dimension it's coming in from, and a little bit about itself. It's saying time is irrelevant to us. There is only this present moment. When the mind races ahead into the future of that which has not unfolded yet, or into the past with what has already taken place, it's important to bring your attention and your flow of energy that backs your attention into the present moment of now. Very important you do this on a regular basis. Be calm and observe where your attention and your thoughts go, because where your thoughts and your attention goes is where the energy will flow, and that is what you will manifest more of. Okay? We are being taught today by this blue avian. I step forth, I step forward, I speak on behalf of the blue avians. I have been selected to speak on behalf of the blue avians. You can call me Charles. I am in the 9th dimensional realm, and he's super calm, like really calm, peaceful. And now he's doing continue, but he's doing it with his wing. Continue, his blue wing. Okay, awesome. Have blue avians ascended on their own planet or planets? Many of us have, yes. Many of us are still continuing to incarnate on our planets. Planets or planet? Planets. So several, plural, okay? So there's several. There's not just one blue avian planet, okay? And so what he's showing me is that these blue avians that are continuously incarnating on the planet, they kind of get into the cycle of constantly, the soul keeps coming back into a different vessel of a blue avian and continues to incarnate there. So sometimes it's difficult to break out of that routine or that cycle of incarnation. And he's talking about Paul Milgis. His soul kept incarnating repeatedly as a blue avian, but I'm also seeing as like what I would guess I would call a red avian and other bird beings, but predominantly blue avian. This is why Paul speaks on behalf of the blue avians, because he has had so many incarnations on the blue avian planet, in which he spent many lifetimes. So what happens is you kind of get into this cycle of doing the same. And that might be something that you notice if you feel like you have been a blue avian. You might be kind of like, you get kind of into a rut of doing the same thing here on Earth. Your safety zone, kind of your comfort zone of doing the same thing. Oh, this blue avian says that's smiling at me and talking about me breaking people out of their comfort zones. Isn't that nice? I get things stirred up, and I stir it up within others, and then others like to stir it up within themselves, which is really good, instead of the same frequency repeating itself over and over again. And he's really thanking me. His wings are coming together to bow to me like this. I'm like, wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. He says it's difficult to continue incarnating repeatedly on Earth and getting into any kind of repetitive pattern here. That's probably a good thing. That's awesome. Okay, so that's too funny. Okay, he says to the next question. Okay, so do blue avians crossbreed with other bird beings? That's not something that's common. It's usually the same breed. It's not saying that it hasn't happened. It's just saying that it's very, very rare. Typically, the bird being of choice gravitates towards the same bird being. It's not interested or drawn towards or wanting to procreate with other bird beings. Okay. And he's also talking about even if there was crossbreeding, that doesn't necessarily lead to procreation. Okay, that's a lot. All right, so how many blue avian starseeds are here on Earth? So that would mean how many souls in a human vessel, how many people, how many persons on Earth have had blue avian incarnations? He's pretending to count on his wing with his feathers. It's cracking me up. Okay. He says not as many as other starseed origins that have populated the Earth. So it's not, so you guys have heard me talk about this before. Myself and Ashley Cunningham, as we are channeling and giving readings, we're noticing that the top two starseed origins that are incarnating here on Earth are Pleiadians and Arcturians. Those are the top two we both notice. It's not blue avian. So if we were to say, like, in a lineup, is blue avian 10th down the line, or he's saying 8th. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how many blue avians or blue avian incarnations souls have had, and then incarnating on Earth, starseed origins, right? So that's good to know. He said that there's a lot of starseed origins that have had incarnations as a blue avian that are feeling quite lost on Earth right now. And many will be finding this content today online. And it's really important that you hear this message if you are feeling as though you are a blue avian and you are feeling lost. We love you and we are here for you, dear ones. Please call upon us. We await your request to step forward and to assist you, to help you, and to guide you. Mentally or out loud, or if you choose the written word to write it down, make the request, please, dear ones, for us to step forth and assist you in this lifetime. We will guide you to the right people, places, events, into the best situations. So whatever it may be, these blue avians will help you, okay? They will step forth and assist you in this lifetime. So that's really important to ask for their help. And as soon as you think it or say it, they hear you. Okay. Okay. Are all ETs here on Earth aware of one another? That's the next question. So are the blue avians aware of the Arcturians, and are the Arcturians aware of the Pleiadians, and everybody's aware of who is here surrounding and or on Earth? He says yes, they are. What are the characteristics in a human if there are? We've talked about that. So I've talked about the characteristics in a human vessel if you have incarnated as a blue avian. If you don't feel like you fit in here, you're finding it hard to ground yourself, you might be labeled with ADHD, you might find it hard to sit still and not move, intellectually quite sharp. Then and if you feel like you're just having a hard time on Earth in general, call in the blue avians to help you. Okay? What message would you like humanity to hear at this time? You are enough. You are enough just as you are. Please stop comparing yourselves to other souls here incarnating on Earth. You are enough just as you are. And as you are is brilliant, wonderful, spectacular. He's using these words, okay? Each of you are beings of light and love, temporarily housing yourself within these vessels in order to learn and grow. It is important that you do not compare yourselves to others. Each of you is on a unique journey unto itself. Unless you want to compare yourself to another in a positive manner, okay? Or being inspired by another. Wow, yeah, I can do that. I can do this. Okay. What is your perspective of the ascension process taking place on Earth at this time? He's clapping with his blue wings. He's showing this movement. He thinks it's wonderful. They all do. All of the high vibrational starseed family members, all of the ETs that are here are celebrating the arrival of this high vibrational frequency that is permeating through each of your vessels and the planet herself. This is a wonderful time on Earth. Irregardless of what you see or what you are observing in truth, it is a wonderful paradigm shift here on Earth. It is pivotal. And it's been needed for some time. And each of you are ready enough for this to take place. Some of you are more ready than others. Those of you that are not ready to ascend or awaken, you may choose to exit the planet at this time, or you may notice it is going to be difficult for you at times as we have this energy permeating our vessels and helping to lift our frequency. So you can imagine this frequency wants us to lift up in vibrational frequency, but if you yourself are still in the trenches and you're not ready to kind of shift like everybody else, you know, when people are really happy and high vibrational, it kind of annoys you. It's a bumpy path when people annoy you who are really happy, right? It'd be irritating. So picture that on a huge scale globally, and maybe you're not ready to go. It's going to be a little bumpy for a while. But you can call upon your divine team of beings, your spirit guide, your angels, your guardian angels, your starseed family members to help you make this a smoother transition for you, he's saying. Okay? Help you with this path of ascension. And he highly recommends that you do make this request. The last of these questions, before I move on to the group's questions, are how are you, the Blue Avians, contributing over time to Earth's future? Bringing their frequency here to help impact and influence Earth's energy and each of ours. So you know, when somebody comes in with a calm, stable frequency, it actually can calm and stabilize you and help ground you and create that peace within you. So that's what they're doing for our energy here. Observing and watching and monitoring what is going on here on Earth. Okay. That's what they're going to be doing. And helping those who make the request to help lift and raise your vibrational frequency. Help to ground you. All right. So here's the first question from the group. What dimensions were the Egyptian Blue Avians in Thoth, Ra, Horus? High. I get high. Okay, so these individuals had Blue Avian lifetimes, but not only Blue Avian lifetimes. They have other origins as well. And we're asking for all of these, right? All of these. So we are gonna, 9th to 12th dimensionally. And that's not only in these lifetimes. This is also in other incarnations that they've had here on Earth. You see, your soul is in constant flux. It is learning and growing through all of these different vessels at once. So depending on what that lifetime needs, what vibrational frequency you wish to be at, what is your purpose, and the reasoning for this lifetime is going to be dependent upon when you come in the lifetime with what dimensional frequency, and also how much of your soul's energy you will bring forth into that lifetime or that experience. Holy moly. Oh yeah, we're learning a lot today, aren't we? Yeah. All right. That's a lot. How did Blue Avians and Pleiadians seed the Earth together? Did they seed the Earth together? It's predominantly the Pleiadians, okay? Although the Blue Avians have been here to contribute and to assist, but it's predominantly the Pleiadians, okay? It's kind of like coexisting together. not being chummy chum best friends, but like what is needed, and then delegating what is needed to with whom they feel is best to step forward and take on certain accomplishments or certain decision making. But the Pleiadians are in the forefront still. The ET origins of the Pleiadians and the blue avians, they've been here for a long, long time. A lot of ET races have been here for a very long time. Okay? They're just not allowed to openly walk upon the earth in physical form. But that will be different in the future. But we're not talking about the near future. We're talking about way, way into the future. Okay? When we are vibrationally higher and ready for that. Okay, so here's the next question. Where am I? I was there. There I am. How long have the blue avians and other beings been to Earth or on Earth even before humans? And what were you here for and experienced? The creation of the planet, even the preparation and preparing of where this planet was going to be in conjunction with other planets, the sun, the moon. All of this there's preparation with all of it on a monumental scale. And then the Pleiadians stepping forward and helping to seed the planet. He's talking about our DNA, and it has it's very unique. That's why other ET species would want it. Okay, that's why other ET species want it, and also to create hybrids in order to further growth in incarnations, in order to evolve and have the experiences that other souls have. So can you imagine incarnating in a body that doesn't have as much range of emotion or growth? So you're kind of more just having these incarnations and you're kind of like in the same position. There's not that growth and moving forward and expansion and growth, evolution. Okay, so that's why these hybrids have been created, to be able to further growth within those vessels. Everything is energy, is what he's saying. Everything is energy, whether it's physical or non-physical. Everything. Okay. Okay, so Christina's asking, does each version of us have a different higher self? No, there is only one. Okay? Since the galactic vibration is, although just continuing on, because this is continuing on, depending on the version of yourself and what it needs in that moment is what your higher self will bring forth through communication with you, through you. Okay. And so the next part of your question is, since the galactic vibration is so high, why is there a need for alliances or federations? Monitoring, observing, coexisting, co-creating. You know, when you get together with others and you decide, okay, well, maybe if we do it this way, this will be better for the population or for the whole. And depending on our free will choices and choosing, for example, here on Earth, there are other planets that they oversee and observe, but we're going to use Earth as an example. Depending on what humans need on Earth and where our consciousness is collectively going, is what will be determined by these individuals, and consulting one another and consulting source as to what will take place next. So for example, if we get too much energy sweeping over and through Earth with these ascension waves, we can't keep up and we're having a hard time, and they're observing that, then there needs to be a conversation had where maybe the energy needs to come in a bit softer, or the ascension waves come sweeping over Earth in that month a little shorter in time, because our vessels can't take much more. For example, everything's in flux, so they're observing and tweaking depending on what we need, and that's really important. Okay? All right. Thank you. Yes. All right. Okay, 2 more questions here. Melissa's saying, one of my guides, soulmates, Bestie, is a blue avian that's been with me through many lifetimes. Does he... okay. Does he have a soul mission with me at this time, or is he just chilling, guiding me when I need? Just relax. Just, yeah, it's blue avian, Melissa, big time. Stepping forward and assisting you throughout this lifetime. Kind of smiling and saying, not always chilling and relaxing. Okay, so you need to know, like, this starseed family, and this is a close, this is a, you can tell this is incarnations with this energy that you've had, is not just friends. Let's put it that way. This is soulmate. Thumbs up. Yeah. So loves you and here to help you, and not always hanging back on his laurels. Okay, working behind the scene of your life to help usher things in, to make changes within, observing your vibrational frequency, the thoughts in which you are housing within your mind, helping you shift in a more high vibrational direction with your thinking, helping to ground you, because your mind racing, busy mind at times. Melissa, you want to fill us in on that? I'm sure you will later. Okay, so when we have a busy mind, we'll have a starseed family member stepping forward and helping to help us ground and quiet and create that inner peace and that stillness in the mind. A lot of us don't even know what it's like to have stillness within our mind, and we actually feel like our thoughts are who we are, but it's far more. We are far more than that. Yeah, you just ask them, Katie. Just talk with them out loud or in your mind. They'll hear every word. If you want to talk to the Greys, you want to talk to whomever, you just talk to them. Although I highly recommend asking Archangel Michael to move into your home first as your spiritual bouncer. And I highly recommend you make the intentions and set boundaries that only high vibrational ET energies are allowed proximity to communicate with you or around you. That would be the first thing I would recommend. All right. This question, I think, is in Norwegian, so I'm going to hit the translation button into English. Why is it interesting to have contact with Earthlings? Why do you guys enjoy contact with Earthlings or humans? it's not always something that they do out of enjoyment. It is something that is needed in order to assist in the progression of humanity's expansion and growth and the collective consciousness here. Although they do have fondness for us and do enjoy experiences with us. But this is predominantly your starseed family members, say for example, as a blue avian, starseed family members coming to assist you. Those individuals are enjoying that time with you because they know you and they have had many incarnations with you. Melissa's blue avian starseed family member here is pressing in on me, so I'm just seeing if he wants to say anything else. He would like to relay a message for Melissa. Go within, create more stillness within, be the still observer of your thoughts. Any of the thoughts in which arise within your mind that you do not enjoy, that you do not like, give them to me so I can transmute them into the light. I wish for you to do this on a regular basis, each and every single day, until you feel there isn't as much of a need for it. Okay, so when you're feeling good and content and at peace and you have more stillness within, then you know, yeah, I don't need to hand off as many low vibrational thoughts, worries, and feelings and emotions and fear to my starseed origin family member here. So that's when you know you can ease back. If you're constantly having a racing mind and worrying about things and your mind is fragmented and it's all over the place, you know you've got homework every single day to be the still observer of the thoughts and emotions coming up in you. Oh, I'm worrying about money again. Here you go. Oh, I'm worrying about the future again. Here you go. Okay, so you're going to do that on a steady, regular basis until. Okay? All right. Now, do any of you have any questions for the blue avians while I am here channeling them? And I'll just see if there are any other last things that the blue avians would like to say while I'm waiting for you guys to go ahead and type your questions. They're just saying this is a glorious time here on Earth. The population, the souls that have chosen to incarnate on Earth at this time, chose to come here during this time, chose to come and live here on Earth through these difficult days ahead, this difficult time and these difficult days ahead. There are more upheavals to come, dear ones. So, fortifying your sanctuary, like your home, your sanctuary, and your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own belief systems, where you're placing your attention and your focus, okay? What you're doing with your fears, your worries, your concerns, your own vibrational frequency is where you need to hone in now more than ever. Go forth, is what they're saying. Go forth and do this. Okay? Because as the path becomes bumpy in the future, and it's going to be so important where you place your attention, your focus, okay? Who you're spending time around, also, your home, where you're living, your sanctuary, your sanctity, your sanctuary. Okay? All right, so here are the questions coming in. Faith is saying, do I have Blue Avian Spirit Guide or as part of your team? Okay, and do Thunderbirds exist? So I would say, Faith, your spirit guide is going to come directly from your soul group. I wouldn't label that as a Blue Avian. But if you have a fractal of your spirit guide or a soul that you've incarnated with on a regular basis as a blue avian, that would be called as a blue avian starseed family member. Okay? And just like the entirety of my soul is not housed in my body, so therefore this is a fractal of my soul housed in this body. This is a fractal of this energy as a blue avian. And does she have this with her? I'm getting no, you do not. You have other starseed family member origins. Lyran, Arcturian, Earth. Those are your origins. And your family members are Lyran and Arcturian. And you've also had, you have a soul here that you've incarnated with on Earth in this lifetime or other lifetimes. Other lifetimes. So it's like a soul that you've incarnated with, a fractal of this is here as a human, assisting you in your lifetime. And I got a thumbs up. Yes? Literally, this just tapped me on the shoulder. Yes? Tell her to not overthink it. It doesn't have to be complicated or complex to understand. Simplify what you think you need to know within the spiritual arena. Question, do I need to know this information at this time? Will this be of benefit to me now? Or am I going down a rabbit hole? Am I overthinking things? Is this important for me to know at this time? Okay, thank you. That was intense, hey Faith? Do Thunderbirds exist? Yes, they do. And I know what you're speaking of because I just watched a documentary on them the other day. And many have been spotted up in Alaska. Now, I could watch that and listen to all the people saying, I saw it. I saw the Thunderbird. And I would say, well, that's pretty compelling. Thunderbirds must really exist. But I go based on what Spirit says. And Spirit says they do exist. Paul is asking, is the law of one actually channeled by a blue avian? Okay, oh boy, you're really throwing that one out, aren't you? Okay. Okay. You know how the Bible has been passed down by generation after generation after generation, and it's been kind of convoluted by humans? Okay, and it's got a whole bunch of different spins in it, and there is, you know, ego wrapped up in there. It's got a lot of good in there, but it's also, what's the wording you want to use? Convoluted? Yeah. Changed. Okay, so take the good out of everything is my motto in life. Take what resonates with you is the motto in my life. And if the law of one no longer resonates with you, that would mean that it's no longer important information to be observing, and it's no longer needed in your life experience, just like anything. So with the law of one, they're talking about the information coming through the filter of an individual. And depending on where that individual's frequency is dependent on how they will channel that communication. So if you're going to channel and you're going to chat with spirit, it would only make sense that you focus upon your own vibrational frequency, getting grounded, raising and lifting of your vibrational frequency, right? So that you can get a clear and authentic information channeled through you, because it's going to come through your filter, and your filter is dependent upon your vibrational frequency. Where are your thoughts predominantly focused? That will tell you what your vibrational frequency is. What are the emotions that you house within yourself on a steady, regular basis? That'll tell you where your vibrational frequency is. And that'll tell you where your filter is, right? So, yes, but it's been, a lot of what has been channeled through has been convoluted. To keep using that word. They're telling me, Paul, that you are very wise to see through things the way that you do, with clarity, the way that the way that you see through things. And that you have many special gifts, but the one that they really want to hone in on is you have the gift of insight and seeing things with clarity, and then articulating and vocalizing these so that it's easy for others to understand and absorb the information. Some people talk, but it's hard to understand what they're saying, or the way in which they're saying it is very difficult to absorb. They're just doing this to you, Paul. Keep stepping forward. Step forth. Keep going. Keep stepping forward. Many need you. Many, many need you. They're saying that it's interesting that you hear from them that others need you when you yourself are trying to be there for yourself and keep your head above the water at this time. This too shall pass. It's going to pass really quickly for you. And you'll be back up on your feet in no time. It's going to be real quick. This isn't going to take a long time because your soul is ready and you don't have time to stay down for much longer. They're showing a phoenix rising up out of the ashes and spreading its wings and just ready to take on anything. And then they're talking about there are those in your life who are closest to you that will help you get there, and they will help you get back up onto your feet. And that's going to happen now. And it's going to happen much faster than you think it will. Thank you. Do blue avians incarnate as animals here? Or just, well, we are animals. But we're talking about other than humans? Yes. All ET origins do. Most do. Most. Yeah. How can I be of service to the blue avians? You can call upon them for assistance. Don't let your mind run away with you. Observe your vibrational frequency. Don't let others sway you, who you are and where you wish to be, where you wish to place your attention and focus, Poppy. So others will have their feedback or what they're saying, but in every given moment you're going to see if that resonates with you. See if that resonates with you. See if that feels right. Is that necessary or needed right now? No, it's not. And then you're moving. So everything you're watching, everything you're listening to, every person, every YouTube channel, every single thing you're observing, you're sensing and feeling if this is necessary or needed, and if you are to take it on board or not. And the more you do this, the more you will fine-tune your own vibrational frequency within, dear one. They are not holding back today. Yeah, we answered that one in the beginning. So have you actually shown yourself in physical form at all? I don't think so. I'm getting a big no on that. Like, and it's almost like it's not allowed, and they abide by what the rules are here on Earth. But not all entities do. Oh boy. Okay, good, Faith. I'm just the messenger. And I try to follow exactly as they're relaying it. So if you see me switch and I move in it's because I'm copying them. All right. That's way cool. Yeah, like for example, Paul's cousin, total blue avian, obsessed with birds in this lifetime. Obsessed. That would give an indicator also blue avian lifetimes. Okay. All right. Woo. So the last thing I want to say is, and I've said this before, you guys have heard me say it before, it's not about what is happening to you. It's how you choose to handle it. And that is something I will hold to for the remainder of my journey here on earth. So no matter how deep you are in the trenches, it's how you handle it. Why? Why is it how you handle things? Does anybody have any answer to that? Lisa? Why is it not about what's happening to you, but rather how you handle it? Anybody? Feel free to step forward. Would it be safe to say that dependent upon how you handle things is how you will then, where you place your attention, your focus is how you will manifest exactly. And it will mirror it right back to you. And that is how you will manifest things to come into your future. So if you're flailing and woe is me and life is so hard and I don't want to be here anymore, you're going to create more of that emotion, more of those thoughts, more of feeling that way. And personally, I came here for a good time here on earth. I came here for multiple different reasons. I plan on enjoying this right to the end. And I don't want to have a life where I'm feeling like that repeatedly because I chronically keep focusing in that direction and therefore keep creating that for myself. So it's not about what's happening to you. It's about how you choose to handle it and how you choose to observe it. Now that might take time to get that and practice it. But when you do, you're going to soften the blow for yourself with future things that take place in your life. You're going to look at things and they're not so much of a big deal as they once were. And life is going to be, oh, so much easier for you. And that's why I say that. Make it easier for yourself. It's up to us on how we create our reality. Inner creates outer. Couldn't agree more. Our perception equals our reality. Free will choice. We create our own reality. Keep our frequencies high. Yep. Because we create our own reality. Yes. Ariel's asking, do I or my children have blue avian starseed origins? Pleiadian. You have Pleiadian. I know, it's like drumming the old drum there, Ariel. Okay, especially your middle child page. They see how you could see blue avian within page, but it's not blue avian. You're having a reading coming up, they're saying, as I'm just dawning in my brain that you are coming to me for a reading, and they're going to be talking in detail with you about this during that session. But it's not blue avian. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you next Friday when I'm having Real Talk with Jesus. Okay? What does that mean when I have Real Talk with Jesus? it means I'm going to be really blunt and direct with him. And he'll be blunt and direct back. And that's my real talk with him. Okay? It's my day-to-day when I talk to him. That's the kind of conversations we're going to be having with Jesus next Friday in the group Intuitive Angel Messages on Facebook. And after that, we're going to be coming back for the next Sunday Fun Day as well. So join me this Friday coming up. Okay? Bye.